Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you may have seen from the intro, my name is Vanessa and I'm an author from Toronto, Canada, and I publish under the pen name and Sage. I'm a mystery, fantasy, pretty much anything with magic and spooky things and murders to solve. And that's kind of my whole jam. And on this channel, what I do is I share pretty much everything that I learned that I find useful in my journey as a writer after having published 23 books with a few more coming out, one this year and then one that I just announced to come out next year. So we'll talk about all that stuff today. But if that sounds like something that you want to be a part of, that make sure that you are subscribed and that you hit the bell notification so you don't miss any new videos. In this video, I wanted to do an author chat. We haven't done an author chat in quite some time now, it seems. And a lot of stuff is happening and we're coming up on the holidays and I've got new projects in the works and stuff that I'm working on. And so I thought we could just hang out, chat, and kind of do the thing that we do because I love talking to you guys and it helps to talk it out sometimes. So we can start with a couple of different things. There's a lot happening we can start with the personal stuff this time. Why don't we do that? We usually start with writer stuff, but we can start with personal stuff. Halloween's coming up. And that's pretty much all the personal stuff I have. I'm obsessed with Halloween, clearly. It is the holiday in this house that we all love. You can't see where I am right now, but like this is all cute library stuff that we usually have, but like everything over here facing that way is all Halloween decorated. So I'm going more and more out every single year. Our toddler, she is 2.5 now, and she absolutely loves everything that is scary, spooky, ghosts, witches, all vampires, like her favorite things. And so every year I'm trying to add more and more things to our like Halloween decor collection. We are currently containing it to the bottom of the house, but like the first level, but I think it's going to expand because what my plan is, and I don't know if you do this too, but Michael's and HomeSense and all of these places, they usually have like after Halloween's done, they have some wild sales on their stuff. And so my goal is every year to just go to these sales and stock up and get stuff, because sometimes you look at this Halloween stuff and it's like ridiculously overpriced. It'll be like a figurine for $50 and it's not worth it for like just one season. But when they have sales, it's pretty good. And so I'm going to stock up every single year until we have like a massive collection that we don't know what to do with. That's the plan. I think that's about it for like personal stuff. We are getting ready for Christmas. I'm already thinking of like presents and shopping for Christmas and all that stuff. So slowly doing all of these things. And then on the, let's see, what else? I do so many things. The design front, I am slowing down a little bit. I'm not taking on as many clients right now because I realized that I have forced some sort of overwhelm on me. I've also had, and I don't know if you guys have this, but I think every freelancer has had this in a while, but I've had, like an instance with a client that I didn't really like where I had to like chase for invoices and this happens to everybody, but it kind of soured the experience for me. So I kind of want to take a break from that and do the things that bring me joy that I don't have to stress over. And that's writing and teaching and doing all of that stuff. So that's kind of like where I'm at, where my mind is at right now. I just need a little bit of a break. So I am still doing design work. I have select clients too that I've worked with for many, many years. And so I don't want to obviously like push them out or not be there for them when they have releases and book coming out and stuff like that. And so I am still designing. I'm just not doing as much. I do think what I want to do though is work on more pre-made stuff. So if you're in my cover group, Culture and Press is the company that I run the design stuff under, all my graphic design stuff. So if you are in that group, you'll see that I took a breather on pre-mades because I had so much stuff going on, but I think I might get back to it more and more now. Because I really love working on pre-mades. It gives me like an excuse to be creative on the cover side without having like a brief. It's more open-ended. And so I can just like play around and see what's out there and see what's trending and see the kind of covers that I've always wanted to do, but maybe nobody had a story for them then. So it just gives me more freedom. And flexibility as far as like when I work on them. So you'll be seeing more pre-mades pop up, especially like in November and December, if you're looking for books for the new year, for covers for the new year. So that's cover design stuff. Coaching is a ton. I am wrapping up a bunch of clients right now with completed manuscripts, which is really, really cool to see because they're moving on to the next phase of their publishing career. And that's always really, really exciting to see. So I'm wrapping up a few. I'm onboarding some more clients. It's always kind of like a rotating door on the coaching side of things. So that's been really, really exciting. I've been getting a ton of really great feedback from people who have worked with me. And it's been really lovely to see some of the books that we've worked on go on and hit charts on Amazon, right? Like get like bestsellers and number ones and the orange tags and all of that and get on lists. And that's been really exciting to see. So that's been happening more and more as I wrap up more projects with people. So that's been really fun. I do anticipate it slowing down in December a bit for the holidays because most people don't have the time to devote to writing and they just want to take a break around the holidays. So I do expect there to be a bit of a slower period around then. And then I expect it to pick up more in January as it often does. And that's coaching. What else have we got going on? Let's see. One thing I'm working on that's really fun is fiction focus. So if you haven't seen I did a video last time, I'll kind of link it somewhere, maybe in the cards up here or something, on Substack for authors. In my opinion, so far, I continue to love it. I love that app. I love the platform. I love what I can do there. I love posting there. It's been really, really fun. It feels like blogging, but with less pressure. And it's just been, the community there is growing so fast and I'm so pleased with that. Like I literally get notifications every single day about like new subscribers, new supporters. So if you are a subscriber or supporter there, thank you so much. I'm so excited for that. If you're not, check it out. I do have both a free tier and a paid tier. So it's up to you which one you choose. But what I'm working now and what I'm devoting a whole bunch of my time to is the first supporter newsletter. So the supporter is the paid tier that you pay monthly. It's a Substack thing. I did want to make it like pretty much as cheap as possible, like the $2 a month kind of thing. But unfortunately, Substack, the minimum that you can get people on the supporter tier is $5. So I'm trying my best to make that $5 that people are spending worth it for them. That's like my main goal because I've got people who sign up for the full year already. And so I want to make it worth their while. So I'm working on the first newsletter. So the newsletter, the mini course newsletter that's going to come out. I'm making it quite intensive. As a course, it's got 4 modules. And this one is about crafting a mystery. So this one, the mini course on this one is, how to write a good mystery, basically, and like some of the main elements in a good mystery. And I'm working on all the case studies for the different modules because I want to make sure that I have like a good variance of books in there that people can check out and read, and understand like why I picked them for the case study for that specific module. And I'm working on a few workshop ideas as well. The modules are pretty much almost all written. I'm still going through and adding a little bit. I'm trying not to make it like too wordy so people don't want to read it. Like it's not like a full novel. But I'm trying to make everything that I write in there be concise and make sense, right? Like just something that specifically it delivers the content in a way that is concise and specific and it's not too wordy, if that makes sense what I'm saying. So I'm working on that. That's going to take me it's so far I've worked on it for like a week and a half. It's probably going to take another week to finish. It's like a big, project and I'm going to do this every month. So that's what I'm trying to do right now for the, the supporter tier of it, is put in as much work as I can into this so that it pays off for the people who are subscribed monthly. And the other thing that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be making that announcement on Fiction Focus probably next week or the week after, is I've decided that I do want to add a book club. Why did I forget? Oh my God. Hi, I write for a living. So I want to add a book club to Fiction Focus, and that's going to be in the supporter tier because it's going to be a live book club. Like I think what I want to do starting in the new year, starting in January, is have a monthly call, like a video call with everybody who's in the book club so we can actually discuss the book in person, face to face, no matter where we are in the world. And I think that'll be really, really fun to do. I've always wanted to be a part of a book club of people who enjoy like similar books, because every time, like all the book clubs around us are all very, like the focus of the genre is just not something that I read. And I love like mystery and fantasy, right? And fantasy romance and all this kind of stuff. So I want to have a book club that's dedicated to books like that. And it seems so more niche down than what most, I know they want to keep it open for everybody, but I think I really want it to be like niche down like that. I think it would be really fun to have that. And so I think what we're going to do is that, and I'm trying to figure out how we want to do the calls, because I want to do something where you can have longer calls, because obviously like I feel like it would probably be like an hour or two of people just chatting about this book. So maybe Facebook Messenger video calls might be the best, because there's no time limit on those. And that usually is pretty good setting that up as far as booking like an event. So what I might have to do is start a fiction focus group, either a group or a page. I'm not sure. I think maybe a group. I might have to start a private fiction focus group for like the book club members and for the supporter tier members. And then we'll do the book club in there. And then we can post it as a replay as well if we do it as an event, as a live event on Facebook where everybody can participate. So that's something to think about. I'll need to think about it. I might have to use StreamYard. I don't know. We'll figure it out. StreamYard might be an option because then everybody can go in, or I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know how I should run this, because I definitely want to start this in the new year. So that's exciting. That's been taking up a lot of time. So, and now for the writing, which has been taking up like the absolute most amount of time. So again, I will link in the cards here somewhere. But if you haven't seen my video on working on multiple projects, watch it, because I am always working on multiple projects. And now is no exception. So in November, so the things that I do for me in November, and I don't know if you guys are ready for this, because this is like an insane list. I have not had a list this big before, I think, as far as like projects go. So I have the book that I just announced, Very Fairy Funeral, which is yay, exciting news. Let's chat about that real quick. So A Very Fairy Funeral is a spin-off. It's the first book in a spin-off series from Orchard Hollow. So yes, Orchard Hollow is officially signed for a spin-off series that's all going to be like next year, coming out next year. 3 books for now. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping for more, but we'll see. Obviously, it's not me making those decisions, but everybody who reads the book and buys the book. So Orchard Hollow is getting a spin-off. The main character is a fairy undertaker, so a fairy funeral director. So if you've read Devil in the French Press, then you'll know that Piper went to a like Misbrook Manor, which is a funeral home for Orchard Hollow. The funeral director was not there. She wasn't there for a reason, because I already knew she was going to have her own books if this got approved. And so that whole funeral home and the funeral director, who is a fairy, that's right, there are fairies in Orchard Hollow now, which is very exciting. She's the only fairy for now. So she's a fairy funeral director who stumbles on a secret society of undertakers that solve crimes. I mean, there is going to be a love interest. There's going to be an enemies to lovers kind of thing. But obviously this is a cozy mystery, so that's not even like close to the main plot. But the blurb is already revealed, so go ahead and read that. But essentially the premise of the first book is that a body arrives at her morgue, and the fairy's morgue, the undertaker's morgue. So a body arrives at the morgue that is supposedly died of natural circumstances. Nobody knows who it is. It's a John Doe, and so our fairy decides to stay out of it. However, when a person breaks in that claims to be a detective from the city who is working on the case, she doesn't quite believe it, and when she follows him, she stumbles on the secret society of undertakers that solve crimes, and one of the crimes that they're solving is this John Doe. There is also a talking cat. That's right. And the reason that the cat talks, because I know we had Harry Houdini, who's just a regular raccoon. He didn't talk. He had POV chapters. I don't know if I'm going to do secondary point of view chapters in this one. I might do them for the cat, but because he talks, I don't know. I'll think about it. I don't know if I'm going to have secondary POV chapters in this one, in the spinoff. But the talking cat, so the cat is not really a cat. The cat is also a fairy. He's a changeling that got stuck in a cat body because he picked a fight with somebody in administration who assigns the jobs for the changelings. And instead of going into a human baby body, the guy shoved him into a cat. And so now he is a talking cat. So that's fun. So that is the spin-off basically. And I'm super excited, but that's due. So November, kind of like mid to end November, that's due. And I am finishing it up now. So I want to be done with it completely in by the end of October. And then I just want to like do a final round of self-edits, and then it has to go to my editor at my publishing house. So that's due. The other thing I have to do in November is a ghostwriting book. So I do ghostwrite as well. I try not to take on too many projects. I think I can only do like 3 projects a year on the ghostwriting, and that's on the maximum side. But I do have a ghostwriting project that is also due pretty much at the same time. So that's the second project. And now for the third. The third project is the gothic fantasy that I have been working my butt off on. The betas have come back. They love it. They've had some really, really good suggestions for like some of the interiority. There are, because it's like a romantasy also, there are 2 characters POVs. It is third person, but there are 2 characters, and for the male character, they wanted some more like interiority on him and more of his internal kind of dialogue and all of that added to his chapters a little bit towards the end. So stuff like that. There's some really cool suggestions for the world building on how to make it hit faster at the first chapter, which is really cool. There was some suggestions about how to implement like overheard conversations and things like that to help with the gothic moodiness, because you've heard me probably talk about it before, and I'm not saying too much about it. And I'll say why in a second. But there is, the magic system is kind of interesting. There are magical gems that when you use them, the price to use the magic of the gems is a sliver of your humanity. So the more you use the gems, the more you become beast-like until you are just this like skulking beast that stalks the street of the city. And the city is pretty much desensitized to this because they're so used to it, because it's been generations of these beasts that come out of nowhere to attack out of nowhere, and they're used to be people, right? They're impossible to kill, if not at all. And so that's kind of the mentality. And but the main character, the female main character, is the niece of the mayor of the city, who is next in line to be mayor. And then we have her love interest, and it's an enemies to lovers, or ex-friends to enemies to lovers, I guess. So that's kind of what that premise is. So the betas came back, and I've got edits to do for that. And because this is a personal project to me, so technically there's no timeline. However, because they loved it, and because I think I can actually manage the edits on a pretty decent timeline, I wasn't going to start querying this book until the new year, because I do want to query this book. This is why I said that I'm not giving away too much information about it. Because I do want to query this book. I want to try to get an agent. I want to try to get a one of the big 5 or 4, whatever it is now. Who knows what it will be next year, right? But I do want to go for a traditional book deal, just to test it out, to see if it can go that way. I think this book will land well to a smaller house as well. And so but I want to see. I want to see if I can get an agent with it. I've never worked with an agent before, so that would be kind of cool. I've been somewhat in the query trenches, a little bit, but it was in a weird time during COVID where people weren't taking on so many books. And then I ended up signing with my publisher, and everything just kind of went a different direction. So I haven't really been part of the query trenches, and I know they're brutal. And for some reason, I want the pain. So I do want to query it, and I wasn't going to query it until January. But because the betas came back, and because I think it's very doable for me to do it all, quite quickly, I think I want to start in November. I want to start before Christmas. There is I think around the holidays is probably like a slower time for querying, but for the most part, as far as I know, and as far as I've heard agents say, there is no bad time to query. The only time that I would avoid December, more or less, because of all what used to, I don't know who's participating anymore, but the NaNoWriMo craze. So everybody with their NaNoWriMo books would usually like throw out queries in December, and I think they would get overwhelmed and right with the holidays coming up. So it's kind of like a weird time, but I don't think there's a bad time to query. And I think November is for me, a good to at least do a soft round of queries, like try to get it out there. I have my query letter. I am very happy with it. I'm still tinkering with it, of course, as everybody is, but I've got good feedback on that. And so I'm happy with the query letter. I'm almost 100% happy with the manuscript. I just have to do these final rounds of edits to be super, super happy with it. I've given it so many rereads and checks, and I've had people read the first 50 pages before I even sent it out to betas, and those are really gripping, so that's good. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it's ready, and so I think I want to try that in November. So that's a third project. So 3 projects, 3 big book projects that I'm working on all right now, which is a lot. I don't usually do that much, but I'm thinking that if I can wrap all these up before my birthday is November 20th. So if I can wrap all these up on November 20th, then I can just chill for like a month, right? Like I can just plot my next fairy book. I can query, do that, but I can just like take it easy. I can work on pre-made covers. I can work with coaching clients, but I can just like slow it down in the writing sense and write slower and just for me, because I'm not taking on another ghostwriting book until next year. So that's where I'm at. It is so much. Another totally different personal life update that I didn't put in before, but I want to start crocheting. I don't know why. It's really difficult. I've tried it before. I sucked at it. And it's been bothering me that I'm so bad at it. So I want to start it. So I've joined Craftsy, I think it's called Craftsy. It's like a website. I think they had a promotion. You can join for like $1.50 for a year. And there's people teaching classes on craft stuff. I was hoping to learn felting because that looks really cute and cool for like little animals, but I haven't seen too many felting classes on there. But they have a lot of crocheting. Like you can do cute little, like these little animals with ears. I just can't. I'm so excited. And so today I'm going to Michael's to get some stuff for crocheting little animals. I'm sorry. I should probably start with like dollar store yarn. But I think Michael's is having a yarn sale right now. And so I'm just going to go and pick some stuff up. I'm pretty excited for that. So that's a personal thing. And I'm still playing Switch games. I'm playing Smurfs Mission, Wildleaf right now. And it's supposed to be like a really easygoing game, but it's already giving me anxiety because there's like jumping things that it's taking me forever to figure out. So that's where I'm at. This is the author chat. It was chaotic. I know. I tried to keep it organized, and then I remembered all this other stuff in the end. But that's where I'm at. As always, thanks so much for joining me. I wanted to do an author chat, A, because we haven't done one in a while, and B, because I have been having some sleeping issues lately, and I haven't been sleeping well, probably because of all like this work I'm doing and rushing through. And so I didn't like really have the brain capacity today to do like a full kind of like scheduled and prepared video. Hope you guys are okay with that. I hope you like these. They really help me a lot to get myself in order. So hopefully you like this kind of behind the scenes chat. And as always, thanks so much for hanging out and for listening to me like blab about life and writing and all this adventures that I'm taking part of now. And as always, of course, stay magical, and I will see you next week for another proper, less chaotic video. Bye.